What up, YouTube? Jamarcus here today, back with another video. And today we're gonna be watching the worst family on TikTok is scamming fans now. Let's get into this video.
You know, just like most Americans, I feel like doing chores is a tedious task. I probably procrastinate about it. I hop on my couch and I start scrolling on TikTok. But if there's one thing and one thing only that will make me hop up ASAP from that chair is running into a new Resilient Jenkins video where I find out that this is the nastiest family on TikTok.
When you are washing anything with a rag that can collect lots of bacteria, unless you're immediately throwing that into some sort of cleansing system after you're done using it, I think it needs more than warm water. And as we can see, it seems that she just leaves them in the tub.
And you may be wondering why the abundance of washcloths in the bathtub, and here's the reasoning behind that. I gave up on the concept of wet wipes like a freaking few months ago. I lost track of how long it's been since I used wet wipes. But I have next level squirmy toddlers when it comes to being changed, and I'm not trying to have poo all over my freaking elbows, so I'd rather just pop them babies in the shower every time. And if that means they need to have 3 showers a day, so friggin' be it. I say you do what you do, I do what I do type of situation, because you want to sit there and judge me, baby, you could learn some things from me, okay?
Yeah, that's not sanitary. I've covered the Resilient Jenkins on my channel before, and I've dubbed them as TikTok's most disgusting family. They went viral a couple years back for being a woman housing a bunch of kids, about 6 of them, in a 1-bedroom motel. She had the kids sleeping on the kitchen floor with mats and other dirty things on the ground. It was quite disgusting. And this was a viral trend not too long ago on TikTok. You know, the app that tries to make everybody a creator. People were showing the situations that they were in and then ultimately galvanizing their audience in order to help them out. Well, the difference between the Resilient Jenkins and those other families is that they don't necessarily want your help. They've realized that it's easier to monetize their life and their living in squalor as opposed to, you know, getting out of that situation. This consistent nasty behavior and posting it on social media has shot the Resilient Jenkins into new heights. But now we're back because a few things have happened that are just outrageous. Stephanie Jenkins has a new dirty scam going on with washcloths. She's apparently berating her followers for having more money than them. And apparently we have to answer the age-old question of if she is pregnant again or not. But before we get into that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way for the channel. I promise you we couldn't do this without the community. We just crossed 130K subscribers. Thank you for that. And we're hoping for 130K plus more. Now, back into the video. If you aren't familiar with this type of content, be warned, it's about to get very ghetto, fabulous, and nasty for a second. Now, I'm not the wash rag police. I know everybody has their own way of going about doing things. Me personally, I use a new one every time I shower. But I'm not opposed to people using the same one for a couple showers. That's neither here nor there. What you do with the wash rag after you are done with it is the most important portion. Let's play a quick game. Are you a person who A, brings it out and hangs it over the guardrail, B, brings it out and hangs it over the towel rack, or C, lets them compile over the course of a month in the shower as they're still wet and getting crusty?
For me, it's B.
And moldy and all these nasty things. Well, if you said C, you might be Stephanie Jenkins.
Yo, let's get into it. This is my part of Sunday Reset after Babe had already done his. But let me start by saying that if you're new here, welcome. Hi, we're Resilient Jenkins. We are a family of 7 that live in a motel currently. But let's get right into the Sunday Reset. I had a butt ton of laundry, as you can see, that I needed to do, and my goal was to get every single one of these loads done except the blankets. I knew that wasn't gonna happen.
Now, to be fair to this family, they have 6 kids plus 2 adults, which makes a whole bunch of nonsense. So naturally, they're gonna have a whole bunch of clothes and stuff all over the floor. Listen, I can't act as if I don't have a pair of socks right here on the floor right now. But the difference between myself and the Resilient Jenkins family, and probably you as a viewing audience, is that we work jobs. We have things to do today. I know that we're the Unemployed News Network, but follow me for a second. But most importantly, no way, shape, form, or fashion will we let a bathroom or any other room sit like this for extended periods of time. Every time we tap in with Stephanie Jenkins, she has some new and innovative way that's supposed to make her cleaning more efficient, but honestly, it makes it more nasty.
And you may be wondering why the abundance of washcloths in the bathtub, and here's the reasoning behind that.
That's basically what she's doing. Like, she thinks she's making something cleaner, but in reality, she's making it more nasty, more disgusting, hideous.
I gave up on the concept of wet wipes like a freaking few months ago. I lost track of how long it's been since I used wet wipes. But I have next level squirmy toddlers when it comes to being changed, and I'm not trying to have poo all over my freaking elbows, so I'd rather just pop them babies in the shower every time. And if that means they need to have 3 showers a day, so friggin' be it.
I don't have babies, so that may or may not make sense. But what I do know is you can't leave a bunch of wet washcloths, and I mean sopping wet washcloths, at the bottom of your shower. Whether it's mold or mildew, whether it's Uchi Wally Wally or one mic, that's disgusting. One of the main issues that I took away from that whole shower cleaning situation was the fact that how are you distinguishing which rag is which? It all just looks like somebody washes their body, plops a rag in the corner, somebody washes their booty, plops their rag in the corner. Everything just goes in one central place for disgusting germs and bacteria to grow. I feel like I even saw a bowl in the shower as well. But don't worry, Stephanie Jenkins has that all filled out. You know, the library has the Dewey Decimal System. Stephanie has the Doo-Doo Decimal System, meaning that these rags are for one thing and these other rags are for another thing.
Honestly, y'all, I can't tell sometimes if you just like to make up crap because it benefits your views and you like continually see the pattern of every time you speak some crazy crap about me, you get the views. And you know, whatever. So let's break it down for you. I really think I didn't separate them. I'm washing my baby's bums with the same rags that I wipe the floors and I do cleaning with. No, man, come on now. Blue ones are all of our body rags, body wash rags. Kids know this stuff too.
Okay.
Any of the microfiber are all of the cleaning rags that do not get used on our bodies. The miscellaneous ones that I have are what you like to call the doo-doo rags, and I'm gonna touch base on that too. Separate from all of those, we have the face wash rags, which I need to get more of, but we still have them and they're separate from everything else. I don't know why it's such an issue that I prefer to use rags versus wipes. There's many reasons why I went into this, and it didn't just happen. Okay, there's a few occasions where Drew was at work and he couldn't bring wipes to me, and I just, I didn't have wipes on hand, so I used the washcloth, and I ended up liking it a lot better because just my preference.
And although I believe I am a disposable person, I'm not one of those people that reuses paper towels or reuses napkins. I damn sure won't be reusing diapers. I can understand the selection of people that feel like reusable is easier, more convenient, whatever the case may be. I'm not here to yuck that yum. But why I am here to yuck Stephanie's yum is because she's not being truthful. When you find out how she's sanitizing and washing all these things, she has the doo-doo decimal system, but that doesn't mean that she adheres to it. And I think one of the reasons why is because when she goes to clean everything, all these rags and stuff, she puts everything in one water tub. She uses the shower as a central place to clean everything, from bodies to dishes, from doo-doo rags to body rags. Everything is used in this central place and everything is contaminated.
Y'all, Stephanie is now using the tub to wash clothes.
Like how I like to do laundry.
Oh, that's nasty. That's nasty, bro.
Concept of wet wipes like months ago. I lost track of how long it's been since I used wet wipes. But I have next level squirmy toddlers when it comes to being changed, and I'm not trying to have poo all over my freaking elbows, so I'd rather just pop them babies in the shower every time.
Oh.
Am I washing dishes in the tub? Yeah, bro. I think you can't guarantee you're gonna see every one of my vlogs is some type of cleaning because I'm always cleaning.
Now, the reason that somebody would be doing these things with this washcloth and cleaning method, staying in this dirty hotel / motel, Holiday Inn, is because they're having financial issues. And that's the thing that Stephanie Jenkins has tried to, tell us for the past 2 years or so. Even if it means self-inflicted, because we know her husband wouldn't get a job and still probably won't get a job to this day. But when you start to get so consumed on the internet enough, you start to reveal a little bit more and more about your truth. In some sort of TikTok live, Stephanie Jenkins revealed that her haters were just mad at her because she actually earns more money than they make while doing this TikTok content.
You guys still do not see my social media thing as a job when I probably make more than most of you. I could give a frick.
And I don't think that anybody's mad at Stephanie per se for, making all this money on TikTok. The whole point was for you to get social media famous in order for you to uplift your family from poverty. But I think what she quickly realized is that if she did uplift her family from this situation, you would then have to put in some sort of real work, elevator content, maybe go back and get a job, all these other things. She realized that being poor or being disgusting or being all these things was her selling point. And so in an attempt to rectify the slip up that she had, she then goes back to tell us how during Christmas time this past year, she did not have enough funds to give her children, the Christmas they deserve.
It's affecting us that much more because we have that many more people who rely on us financially. How is it not making sense? How does it not line up to you that we're doing what we can financially? It sucks for me too that we don't have any Christmas decorations up. I'm the type of person that wants it to look like full North Pole in my house as soon as November or December 1st hits. But that's not how we are financially. We weren't expecting for Drew to have to take some time off work, for me to end up sick. Sets us back a little bit. Not to mention we ended up having a $350 ticket that we ended up having to take care of. We weren't expecting that, but we took care of it. Yeah, it sucks that we do not have Christmas set up for our children yet.
So she starts out by saying after the 15th, they are going all out with Christmas.
But we know that we're going to do the best we can to make it a magical Christmas despite. And it may just be a fat 10-day Christmas nonstop, make you sick of Christmas for 10 days straight, because as soon as the 15th hits, we will be doing what we can to celebrate Christmas.
The problem to me with this thought process and philosophy is that, pay transparency from creators is pretty well known. And we can just scroll up and down her page, whether it be Instagram, whether it be Facebook, whatever it is. We can tell that she's getting some sort of income from the social media platform. Hell, with some of the money that they got, they even bought a new car recently. So you're telling me that you have the funds to pay for a new car, which is a whole nother head scratcher. But you're sitting here on the internet trying to get the tears out of the remaining audience that you do have that believes in this nonsense by telling them that you can't afford Christmas, that you only have $200 to do a Christmas. I just call cap on that.
It's at the dollar store to get the rest of the gifts because the budget was $200. Spent $230 at Fred Meyer, which I still think is immaculate considering what I got. So I'm actually pretty proud of that. But I'm gonna head to the dollar store for, just the less little nicky-nacky stocking stuffer, wrapping paper. The experience, yes, but at the same time, is your kid old enough to value the experience?
I gotta stay away.
Spending thousands.
Freaking tired.
That's up to you to decide, but for me and Drew personally, we've decided we're not gonna even beat ourselves up for the fact that we can't do an abundance of gifts this year because it's not the year we want to do it. We want to wait till our kids are preteen, a little bit, or first teenage year, 13, 14, whatever, and we just want to go crazy and spoil the crap out of them with stuff that's going to last a few more years that they're going to be interested in.
And I don't think that there's anything wrong with not having funds for Christmas, setting expectations for children, all these other things. While I wish things would be different, sometimes people got to do what they got to do. They're not my pockets. Who am I to judge? What I do have a problem with is in one breath, you brag about how much money you're making on social media. And then on another note, you try to tug on the heartstrings of this audience saying that, I just don't have the funds to put on a jolly Christmas. We don't have the mental capacity to do these things. We don't have the finances to make Santa come. I'm gonna call cap on that, especially as I continue to watch your videos and I see videos of you making designer homemade treats.
Hey besties, how's everybody doing? I don't know if y'all have had one of them loaded peanut butter cups, but those things are freaking delicious. And about a week ago, I thought to myself, why don't me and the kids get together some little supplies here and make some ourselves? See, I'm a sucker for a craft that can double up as a snack, okay? So with my idea and my free will, I took my little behind to Winco and I got us some supplies. And I listed those at the beginning of the video, so I'm not gonna say them again now, but I will tell you, don't get them freaking dried dates. Those were disgusting.
Now, I'm pretty sure all of us have been in a situation where we've seen that sort of assortment of snacks before, passed by it in the grocery aisle and kind of kept it moving. Why? Because we know that that's expensive stuff. Those aren't Raisinets. Those are the bin full of the chocolate covered almonds or raisins or whatever the case may be. That's not Jiffy peanut butter. That's some sort of homemade, churned non-MSG peanut butter. So let me get this straight. Instead of spending your money on baby wipes and other essentials for your family, you decided that it was probably a better use of your money to make some sort of designer snack. I'm being so serious. That little allotment of goodies probably costs close to $50 to $60, easily. So there's no way that you can come on the internet and talk about how you don't have money for Christmas and all these other things when we see you bragging about you having more money than people. You're buying these designer snacks. You're getting a new package from TikTok Shop/Amazon every day. And then you also put up an Amazon wish list, but disguised it as some hackers getting into your Amazon account. And then instead of taking any sort of important information, they decided that it was important to buy all the things for your kids in your household on the Amazon wish list and send it to you.
So I wanted to take a second and address, because people are still asking me, even though I did post about this, but I'll say it again. Drew and I did not post any wish lists. We did not post wish lists. So if you're seeing wish lists pop up in Drew's name or in my name, somebody did that shit. And if you want to know, like, they next level trolling, they put cat stuff on these wish lists. Like, y'all, they want something to talk about. And I really do appreciate those of you that purchased items off the wish list thinking that it was legitimate and you just had the intentions of blessing the children. Luckily, the items are getting here because they actually use the address.
She knows that she rich. She knows she got money. She know that she's rich. We know that she got money. We know that she's rich. And vice versa. We know. Stop faking. There's no point.
Of the motel, they went through steps of making it look as legitimate as possible by using like our names, the address of the motel, this and that, and like things that they think that our kids would be needing. And the funny thing is that like the items on the wish list are things that Drew and I would never even be putting on the wish list.
None of that story about the wish list even makes any sense. If somebody signed into your Amazon account, you would get a bunch of notifications and alerts. And ultimately, why would a hacker go into your Amazon cart/wish list, add stuff that a family would need, only for your family to then accept it and then use it later on? It's just baloney. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. And that's just the surface level of all of the parenting concerns that the Jenkins do have. They're still doing the same old song and dance nasty stuff, you know, kids living in squalor. There's even a video out there of one of the kids, you know, biting some of the drywall off of the wall.
I can't believe this. Alice is eating the paint chips off the fucking wall. I'll be damned. I fucking knew it.
But all of this is why the trend of families being on social media to me is disgusting. It's generally speaking never about the betterment of the family. You know, you've got something cool going on, you just want it out there, you want to be innocent, blase, blase, blah. But oftentimes it's about the exploitation of the kids. It's about putting them in situations that people will think are so ridiculous that they will somehow, some way monetize you so you can live the lifestyle that you want to live as the parent. And the only people that suffer at the end of the day are the children. Speaking of suffering children, if the situation wasn't already bad enough, they have decided, and this is speculation, to go ahead and lay down for baby number 7.
Many people on TikTok have been speculating that she may allegedly be pregnant again. And I genuinely hope to the bottom of my heart that that is incorrect and that that is not true, and that in a couple months I can come back here and tell you that that was incorrect information. But the reason why people are speculating on that, one of them at least from what I've seen, is this video where she's trying on this outfit and you could see her belly.
See, let's check these out, okay? Don't watch. You can't deny. I wasn't expecting it to be this tight. Honestly, this is really comfortable though. This is comfy. It came in 3 different colors. Black, obviously. What do you call this? Beige? And white. I think it's cute, it's comfortable. This material is super comfortable.
Shout out to Tam Mimi and her investigative journalism on this whole situation. Now look, I can't tell two adults what and what not to do with their private parts, but at some point in time, I think that they would and should look around and get a real temperature check as to what's going on. Clearly, you can't afford this situation. At least that's the story that you're trying to tell the internet. What you're doing is totally unsustainable, and it's just not right. You're not doing right by your children. You're trying to appeal to some social media fan base and audience. And they also live in a 1-bedroom house. How are they having sex? Let's just chalk it up to maybe it was the angle, maybe it was the lighting, maybe it was something, and hope that she's not actually pregnant again. It wouldn't surprise me at all, but let's just pray for the sake of the kids that she's not actually pregnant. What's nasty about this is there are 40 million ways to become a content creator, get into certain niches, and people have even progressed in their life in these niches. So if they actually took this a little bit more seriously, which I think they are, and just invested the funds back into the family, I think people would, turn around on them, be more positive. If we saw some upgrades and changes in their lives, people would actually be happy to monetize them. But no, Stephanie thinks the only way for them to be monetized is by being considered the nasty family on the internet. It's sad, and some corrective action needs to happen ASAP.
Stupid ad. Oh, that's it. Well, that's it. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.